All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to give a little bit of context to this video you guys are about to watch. This is immediately after Breonna Taylor's house had been breached. They had apprehended her boyfriend. He had come out of the apartment. He's been apprehended at this point, and there's a little bit of back and forth between him and a few of the officers as they're, trying to figure out what's still going on in the apartment. There could still be, a threat to the officers in the apartment, so they're trying to see what's going on. And the boyfriend, while he's coherent enough, is, it seems to be worried about his girlfriend and trying to explain the situation. And the officers are already kind of pleading their case and saying exactly, what happened, what didn't happen. So here are my few takeaways. One, they deemed it safe enough to breach the house. A shot was fired, and they returned 20 plus shots, and then stopped firing, right? So at that point, they deem it safe enough to begin communication with the apartment again, or whoever's in the apartment, the target apartment, and have someone come out of the apartment, right? So it's safe enough to have him come out of the apartment, but once he says, my girlfriend is dead, my girlfriend is shot, they deem it not safe enough to go back into the apartment. That's my biggest takeaway from this video, right? It's not safe enough. We're going to send SWAT. And I truly believe it's because in that particular officer's mind, he knew they had messed up. This probably was not a situation where they thought they were going to open any fire. Anyone was going to be shot. They want to show some force. They want to threaten these drug dealers in their brain, right? And here's the problem with that. When they're building a case, all 20 or 50 people that are out there, however, not everyone's there investigating, right? Not everyone there built the investigation packet that gets sent to the SWAT, that gets sent to the chief, that gets sent to the other officers that go out that day. And that's why police officers have to be above reproach. They have to be people that you can trust, because when the investigators go out there and do their investigation, if any of that is muddied or any of that is lied or skewed, it then tarnishes the whole rest of the acts, right? It tarnishes everything that proceeds thereafter, because they're going in there under false pretense. And that goes all the way from the judge signing the affidavit for a warrant, to the actual execution of the warrant, to how people respond there on site, right? So those are a few takeaways. Another takeaway is was it actually necessary to do a no-knock warrant at 3 a.m.? This guy seems to comply even after being fired upon. He doesn't seem like he's a super aggressive male. He seems very calm, chill. Me personally, the kind of person that I am, I wouldn't have made it. Me and my girlfriend would have both died that evening, because when I got outside, I wouldn't have been able to contain myself. I wouldn't have been crying and talking normally. They would have still perceived me as a threat, right? So I don't see why, they felt there was such a need, and it could be because of the other boyfriend that was involved, but it just didn't seem like there was a need to go into these particular people's apartment with such force. I just don't see it. The one of the final takeaways, or to stick on that same point, could this have not been carried out, or could this raid not been carried out during the daytime when there's no one there? Or could they have not been apprehended, on their way coming into the apartment, and once they're in custody, hey, we're going to go ahead and search your house too, because we believe you're selling drugs in and out of this apartment. Things like that, right? Were those all possibilities? I think so. Where I'm from in Tulsa, they handle warrants, police chases, all that stuff much differently, to make sure they're thinking of the safety of the people around. You're talking about an apartment complex with thin walls, and they're shooting 9mm bullets, high high velocity rounds, more than likely. These rounds are going through not just one apartment, but 2 apartments, right? So if you have a baby in a crib and they're shooting 20 plus rounds into an apartment, it could have went way worse than what it did. You know, God bless her soul. Rest in peace to Breonna Taylor. It's shocking. She's the only casualty from this situation. And then, finally, the fact that even after they apprehended the boyfriend, they didn't want to go into the apartment to check on the dead person that was in there, or the check on the dead body. Or he's saying, she's on the ground. Basically, he's trying to muster up to say, can you guys help her? I don't understand what's going on. No, you know what's going on. We told you 3 times. You're going to hear him say. And the fact that they didn't have enough, or they were in fear of their lives enough to, at that point, once they fired into a apartment, neutralized whatever perceived threat was there, the person stopped shooting at them, someone walked out of the apartment, they are then in fear enough that they don't want to further go into the apartment to render aid. They want to wait for SWAT to come clear the house. And that, for me, is where it became very muddy, and it almost felt like, dead witness is the best witness because they can't tell a side of a story.
Dude, we announced like 3 times. So first gonna try that again.
We have a compromised position. Make yourself uncomfortable.
Tell them we have 1-10-15.
How's your girlfriend doing?
I don't know.
Inside?
There's somebody. I was banging at the door and she said, who is it? And the other started shooting.
No, we announced 3 times police search warrant. Don't try that.
Yeah, my girlfriend.
Who was shooting at us?
It was her house.
Who was shooting at us?
Hold your positions, everybody.
We have to go in if there's somebody there. What is this about?
The SWAT can come. We're not going in there. What kind of gun did she have?
She's on the ground. In the hallway.
What kind of gun did she shoot?
It's
A rifle or a
it's
pistol?
a regular 9mm.
Did she shoot or you shoot?
It was her. She was scared.
I'm spinning out.
I just kicked.
I'm gonna spin up behind you.
Nobody,
No, we're going to let SWAT come to secure it. We're not rushing in there. We've already got shot.
Throw him in a car.
Good boy.
Hoover.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what is this
Hey,
about?
let's move him. We got to get him in the car.
What is this about?
Who lost the flashlight? Mini flashlight. Anybody?
Me.
We got enough people around back to put this back
Hold your positions, everybody.
I don't think you can get out. Yeah. Like, I think that apartment goes behind it. Yeah. Because I think we were all out here.
Mike, does that hallway feed all the way through? I don't think it does.
No.